When you look at the name Houston Parks Board, you think, oh, okay, those people, maybe they put benches, they sprinkle benches around and mow the grass. No, this is a regional planning entity.
A collaborative organization with a very unique set of skills that's now at the table for almost any planning exercise that's required in Houston.
Because with a city with over 600 square miles, it doesn't look the same in any two places.
It is a big city, and there are 7 million people in this region.
You could put Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Detroit into the footprint of Houston. Now think about what it takes to create a park system where people have equity and access to a quality park.
We need to be a resource for the smallest park and the largest park in the city. That's a challenge.
We need to make sure that Houstonians in every community and throughout the city have access to parks and trails and recreation and exercise.
Green space is vitally important. You cannot have a complete city without having the green space and the parks that go right along with it.
What we want to do is tie Houston together and create a way that people can have their neighborhoods, their housing, their jobs linked together.
Because right now, Houston has a lot of enclaves, right? We still have parts of the city, they don't have sidewalks, they don't have good bus service, they don't have a park that they can walk to with their kids.
We need to help all Houstonians rethink their mental map of Houston, to re-envision what this city can be.
Bayou Greenways essentially is an idea that's been around for more than 100 years to provide connective trails and green space through all the bayous around the city of Houston.
It's the initiative that is transforming the entire city, and to my knowledge, I'm not aware of another community that is taking on such a big, bold, audacious goal.
Bayou Greenways 2020 is 2 years away. So like in terms of the year 2020, we are on it. We are making it happen, and it has this phenomenal opportunity to connect us, to bring us closer.
And I think we see, if you spend any given day or afternoon along any one of the Bayou Greenways, which has been initiated and open, we see this upwelling of support for what these spaces are like and what they can mean for our city.
And they go through every neighborhood, regardless of whether you're rich or poor, affluent neighbor, whatever it is. It doesn't just help people who live in neighborhoods like the neighborhood I live in now. It helps people who live in neighborhoods like this one that I came out of.
And in many of these neighborhoods, there are lots of challenges to getting out and being physically active. Lack of sidewalks, lack of access to the trails. So how do we bridge those gaps?
When the Parks Board was going around and promoting this trail, a lot of my community members were kind of concerned. They were fearful because they haven't been used to an entity come over and say, hey, we're going to do something for your community that will be sustainable, that will address the quality of life for our citizens.
To bring this diverse community together, regardless of background, regardless of age, to provide opportunities for all Houstonians to be able to enjoy a better quality of life.
I mean, it's real equity. Every neighborhood, every income, every community that you can think of.
Making sure that Houston as a community thrives and that the people in it thrive, I think that's the real return on investment that we're looking for.
It's an essential investment because Houston has to compete with other cities, not just in America, but across the world.
In Los Angeles, you see the LA River. In Atlanta, you see the Beltline. In Dallas, you see the Trinity River. Here is the most ambitious effort in the entire country. 150 miles of urban green space, lacing the whole region, completely redefining the way the region is used and the way we think about it.
This creation of an entire network of trails that allows people to actually explore the city in a completely different way.
And so it really is this connector, not just of the physical infrastructure, but it tells a story of how we move, how we grow, how we innovate, and how we continue to connect in Houston. It's a powerful, powerful narrative.
An organizing principle around which we build a new and better city for the 21st century.
And the Bayou Greenways is a huge step in the right direction. It is the backbone. It is the greenway that we can build that lasting city around.
on envisioning and then delivering Bayou Greenways, we now have capacity and ability to deliver on something much greater.
And that's where we begin thinking about beyond the bios. How do we take this incredibly strong concept and extend it beyond the bios into more communities and engage with more Houstonians?
This idea of where are the parks, where are the schools, where are the other places that people come together, and try to strategize how we can connect those places.
How do we make connections? How do we find people a way to get to a trail if they have to cross a street? How do we marry those green infrastructure or natural infrastructure projects with some innovative engineering?
We can't afford to build infrastructure anymore to do just one thing. If we're going to spend billions of dollars on infrastructure for our city, it has to serve many purposes.
People have realized the environmental value and the aesthetic value of our bayous. They weren't just a place for the stormwater to go when it's raining, but let's make them an asset to the community when it's not raining.
Post-Harvey, we know that there are going to be lots of dollars invested for all the right reasons. What's important is to make sure that parks are a part of the solution.
And I've seen from personal experience what happens when you put quality green space in people's communities, in these neighborhoods, in our cities. Literally, you can transform a city.
Taking us from a city of freeways to a city of greenways.
I mean, that's the inflection point for Houston. And that once these parks are done, these parks can be there for Houstonians for generations.
It's a once in a lifetime, once in a generation. This might be the last chance to get things right.
This is the moment that citizens have to insist that we catapult ourselves to the absolute thought leadership in how to develop a city in the 21st century.
That's the most important message of today. Yes, we're going to finish Bayou Greenways. We're going to finish it strong. We are on time and on budget. But I think more importantly is for everyone to understand where we're going. What is our true north? And that true north is really achieving a system of quality parks and open spaces that are interconnected, that are equitable, that are resilient. That's where Houston Parks Board is going, and we need everyone to go there with us in order to make that happen.